Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I got my suit jacket on today. We got a special one for you. I've got my first ever student to go from absolutely zero, knowing nothing about voiceover, all the way to professional full-time voice actor in 6 months, and just recently signed with one of the biggest voiceover agents in the game over at CESD. I have my now business partner in crime, Ariana Luckett, to tell us how she did it. Ariana, what the hell happened? Last time we talked, you were in, I think, your room or an office, and now you've got a full-on studio bricks in the background. You signed with CESD. You partnered up with me to make the world a better place in and outside of the community. Tell us about your journey. What happened? What did you do?
Honestly, I kept my head down and I did the work. One of the things that you have is a plan, right? From how to get started in this business and how to succeed. And I just followed that. I literally just did that. So like the last time we saw me, yeah, I was recording out of my closet, in my bedroom, but it was right on a main street. I couldn't like do my auditions quickly and they didn't sound the same because cars were going by and I'm like, this is not working. I want to be better at this, but I know that the process that I have right now isn't working. So I
Yeah.
figured it out. I got the booth. Now, loud trucks, we can't get rid of those, but now I can record easier. And I started, I continued doing my auditions and making sure I'm on all the platforms. And then once I realized I'm good at this, I got my demo done. And after I got my demo back, and all the while training and reading every single day and doing everything I was supposed to, got my demo back. It came out really, really well and started reaching out to agents. And next thing you know, I'm signed. I can't believe it. It's almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
I really can't, but I'm extremely happy. And a lot of it has to do with you, your program, and the community. Because I'm
Oh,
telling you guys, like tears, crying, needing support. It all happened, okay? Because this is something that's very difficult to do. And when you have that support from your coach, from your friends, other people in the community, it really lets you push through when times are hard. So there you
that's
go.
amazing.
Hmm.
Lot to unpack here.
Yes.
Lot to unpack. First off, I want to ask, because I used to have a studio bricks. What do you
Mhm.
think? Is it worth it?
I will say two things. The easy answer is yes. It's
Okay,
awesome.
good,
It's my
good.
baby. I still haven't named her. I have to name her something cool. But the second is only do it if you absolutely need it.
Mm.
So this is not something where it's just like, oh, I'm going to do this, as soon as I start. Absolutely not. I just did not have a space that I could use because what do? You record out of a closet.
I do. I record out of a closet. I used to record out of a studio bricks,
Mhm.
but I bought. Here's the thing, exactly what you said. I got my studio bricks not because I needed it, because I thought it would give me some kind of magical ability. I thought it would sound better and all that, and it didn't. I mean, if you get help and you know how to acoustically treat a room properly, and you get it sounding great, I mean, you don't need a studio bricks, but if you have a sound issue and it can help you, then
Mhm.
it's, not only is it going to help you with that, it's going to look really cool in the background of Zoom interviews.
Yes.
So,
It does
yeah.
look really cool, but it was a necessity. It was something that I couldn't do with my current setup. So I had to find a solution. And that's a lot of what voiceover is recognizing what you have and what you don't and what you need to fix. And
Mhm.
for me, it was sound issues. I just couldn't make it work. I couldn't find a space in my house to make it work. So I got the booth.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, before I talk about you doing a demo, because I love how you did it, you kind of went rogue. You didn't ask me if you're ready or anything. Like so many people are like, "Am I ready? Am I ready? Do you feel ready?" You were working, you were getting jobs, but what do you think? And I'm not using this as a plug for you to like be like, "Oh, Jesse's coaching was the best." What do you think were that you did personally? And you can't just say, "Oh, it was your coaching." What was it that you consistently did that really helped you to get where you are, do you think?
I think it was auditioning all the time.
Hmm.
Um, a lot of the time, people will believe that the only way to succeed is to get coaching and to just have someone tell you, no, do this, no, do that. But one of the biggest pieces of advice I think is the most important is understanding from yourself what is good VO. And the only way to learn that is to just do it. So, I'm at what, 1,500 auditions in 6, 7 months. I literally did this every day, like 20, 30 auditions a day, anything that I can get my hands on so that I can understand for myself, this is what sounds good. This is like listening to ads as well. This is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm doing. Do they sound good? Do I sound professional? You know? And it was that repetition that allowed me to say, you know what? I'm hearing myself. I think I'm doing pretty good. I am getting my shortlist. I am booking. I want to move faster. Let me get this demo because I think I'm ready. And so I
Yeah,
did it.
and you can move faster. A lot of people aren't moving anywhere near as fast as they could. Whether it's they're just getting bad information or they're afraid or whatever it is. This goes across for anything you want to be good at.
Mhm.
If you put in the hours and you just continue putting in more and more and more hours, I don't know what it is out there. There's some kind of like people are just against hustle culture, but hustle culture will get you to where you want to go. And you don't have to do it forever. You just do short sprints if that's all you're comfortable with. But putting in more effort can only get you better results. And you did. And you got great results out of it. Now, I want to ask, when you decided to get your professional demo, take me through that, because you went rogue. And like when I found out you were doing it and who you were getting it done with and how much you were spending, I was like, yes, that's how you do it. Leap before you're ready. Go for it. So tell us
Mhm.
about the experience.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to other people's websites and demo producers and things like that and listen and hear what people are doing.
Mhm.
And as I was doing that, I'm just like, well, a lot of these demos that I'm hearing are really, really good. Obviously, once you're auditioning, you can kind of hear how good you can make things sound. And I'm just like, haha, I'm not even close to what these demo producers are doing. And so when I started to look around and I found the demo producer that I went with, I'm just like, number one, he's really good. He wins
Mhm.
lots and lots of awards. I know that if I go to him, I'll be taken care of. Your demo is a big expense, and it's something that's going to be your calling card,
Yeah.
something that you don't want to have to redo in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. It's
Mhm.
something that, again, you want to take care of when you're choosing. And I knew that if I went to the best of the best, hopefully, if I do a good job, I will also get a very good result out of it. And luckily, that is what happened.
Awesome. Yeah, your demo is fantastic. And I know you put a lot of care into it. You were
Thank you.
getting me to like, does this sound okay? I'm like, yeah, it sounds great. You're like, okay, cool. You listened to it over and over. You obsessed over it. It was great. You got a
Mhm.
really good result. And that's it. It's so important to go to somebody great and reputable, especially someone that's got as many awards as this person does. And, the results speak for themselves. You used it to court an agent, and then you read for that agent, so it's not just the demo. You got to have the skills to back it up,
Mhm.
and then you got booked. But the thing is, like, yes, like you're watching this right now, and Ariana got signed by CESD, but they weren't the only ones to reach out to her. Like, there was like a good 4 or 5 of the top agencies talking to you,
Mhm.
because you put in the time, you put in the effort, you learn the skills, and you got the demos, and you followed the steps. Now I got to ask you, did you screw around with Fiverr or Upwork or any of the low budget sites? Did you use them as a springboard? Did you mess with them at all? No.
I did not. No, no, no,
What?
no.
What?
Oh my God. No,
You
I
don't
did
need to
not.
do them, do you? Do you? I don't know. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. Like, I
Mhm.
know a lot of people talk about them and they're trying to make the transition. I feel for them because, I mean, when I first started, I started on Fiverr. Don't tell people, but then I got off there. I still have a profile on there, but I really don't do any work on there at all, and I don't recommend it, for me personally, because I think it distracts people, especially when they're new, thinking that they're going to build a career off that. And some
Mhm.
people have been lucky to do that, but the vast majority of people, like you said, you need to audition to get better. You need to coach and learn those skills that the coach is teaching you, and then practice those skills on real auditions, and that's how you get better. Yeah, so why didn't you do Fiverr and Upwork?
Honestly, I didn't even think about it. It wasn't part of your plan. I'm just like, well, he said not to do it, so whatever. But it was also just because, again, these places like Voice 123, people want VO work, so I don't have to do anything extra. I know that all of these people need work done. And if I can get 20, 30, 40 a day, that's great practice. It could lead to money,
Mhm.
and gives me a good resume. So to me, it's a win-win as compared to Fiverr or Upwork, where somebody has to find you, come to you, and
Mhm.
then decide to book you. It's too many steps, too many what ifs. I'd rather go straight to the client. Hey, you need voiceover? I'm a voiceover artist. Do you want me or not? And there you go.
100%, 100%. As you're watching this, I'm sure a lot of you are seeing like the how much care and effort Ariana puts into this, and how how I really respect how you think about the craft, how professional you are with it, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to partner up with you for this, because I think that you're just a superstar, and I want to ride your coattails as long as I can. So I'm getting in while I can before you leave me in the dust. But I think you're going to go really, really far. What's next? So now that you're professional, you're working, you're doing real jobs. You're not doing the micro budget jobs. You're doing real jobs. You get a real agent. What's your goals? I think it's important to have them. What do you want to achieve next?
Yeah, I think the biggest goal I have right now is just to be able to consistently book. That's just one of the things that, like, on the pay to plays is a lot easier to do. With the bigger agencies, that's extremely difficult to do. So I do want to be able
People
to
think it's
do
the other
that.
way around a lot of the time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Some
it's really
people
hard.
think the pay to plays are harder to book than an agent, but they don't. They say, "Oh, I'd rather go through an agent or direct market, so I'm against fewer people," when that's not the case at all.
Mhm. I mean, these are the best of the best, so it is
Yeah.
extremely difficult. It is a big vote of confidence to be able to get in with this
Hmm.
agency, but now it's gotta book, gotta consistently book, and then work out where I wanna go after that. I know I wanna get into character work, more video games and animation,
Mm.
and I'm getting opportunities to do that, through my auditions, and so that's a learning curve as well, because a lot of the time we focus on commercial, and what's cool about working with commercial is it actually translates over into animation and video games. So, I mean, there's a lot of training, of course, you have to do for that. But
Mhm.
what's nice is commercial really does set the groundwork for that. So I'm finding that I'm not totally out of my depth with video games and animation, but I definitely want to work on that. So that's going to be the next goal, is to really, really dive into that, and then hopefully start booking some really cool video games and
Mhm.
television shows and things like that. And I can do that with CESD. So that's great.
What about live action acting?
Oh gosh, I've actually been asked to do that. Someone asked me, do I want
I
to
think that's a
actually,
great
yeah,
idea. But
maybe
also, it's
one
going to
day.
translate. A lot of people don't realize these days when they say they want to do video games, they think they're just going to be doing the voice. And
Mhm,
sometimes you are. But a lot of the time with these big budget video games, you want to book the big ones, you're
mhm,
doing the voice, but you're also doing the most motion capture. So if you go do like a Ubisoft game in Montreal for like Assassin's Creed, or you're doing like Diablo or something like that, one of the big games, you're going into, and I know this because I've auditioned for them, you go into a studio that's like an airplane hangar, and you have all these balls and everything on you. You've got a microphone around your head with all this stuff on your face so they can motion capture you, and you act it out like you're doing a piece of theater with other professional actors. So anybody watching this, if you want to do video games, don't just take video game voiceover classes, get into an acting class, because that's what it is. Anybody who knows about, I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this are probably made aware of a game that won Game of the Year last year called Baldur's Gate 3. Those are all actors. Yes, some of them are really good voice actors as well, but those are classically trained theater actors. And you can watch their self tapes online. They didn't talk into a microphone, they got in front of a camera and they recorded it like they're doing a TV show audition. One thing I want to go back to, I actually forgot to bring it up when you said that you were listening to ads. I think that a lot of people underestimate how much ground you can make just by listening to ads, and then just being self aware and objective. Could my read of that, where I'm at right now, compete with what they did? Because those people got hired. And if you can confidently say yes, then you're on the right track. If you're thinking, no, they sound very real, and there's also something about them. There's some energy or charisma behind the read. How are they doing that? If you have those kind of questions, get into coaching, right?
mhm. Yep,
Yeah.
100%. Before I started, and when I first got into VO, I said, "Oh, I've heard ads my whole life. Totally know what those are." Right? But it wasn't until I actually started actively listening to these ads
Mhm.
and then trying to replicate it and going, "Oh, that's actually more complicated than I thought." Or, "Oh, wow, this person has some technique that I didn't even think about." You're really starting to hear just how good these people are. And so now that I'm listening to these ads, I'm just like, "Holy moly." And when I replicate it, I'm like, you know what? I think I could do that. And I think my voice would be great for this or for that. And I think that's a really great skill to have. And it's something that a lot of people don't really pay attention to, but you really, really should, because it will help you in your own career.
Do you remember like when we had our first interview? It was right after you'd booked your first job.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that it took forever. And when is this going to happen? And it took you, what was it, 40 auditions or something like that? 44
Mm-hmm.
auditions.
Oh, no, it was like 100. Yeah, it was like
What
100.
was it, 100 auditions to book your
Yeah.
first job? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so 100 auditions to book your first job. That's still pretty good in the beginning. That's twice as quick as it took me. Before you booked that job, if we would have fast forwarded to now where you got the Studio Bricks, CESD, and all, did you see all this coming as quick as it did?
No, heck no, absolutely not. No. I mean, to stumble upon a new career and not suck at it and work really hard and just get better quickly. I never in my wildest dreams, but it was the first conversation that I had with you where you opened my eyes and said, wow, actually, I hear something. You do sound really good. And it was getting into the community and having my friends say the same thing. And I'm just like, well, everyone can't be lying to me. And I don't think they're all blowing smoke. And that allowed me to persist. And
Yeah.
with that persistence, led to me realizing and saying it to myself, because that's the hardest thing for me, was to be able to say to myself, okay, I do think that I have talent for this, and I do think that I am good at this. That was extremely hard to say, and now I can say it and I can believe it. And I thank you and I thank the community, because like, honestly, that has completely changed my life. So yeah, no,
Wow.
not in my wildest dreams did I think this was going to happen, but I'm extremely happy that it did.
In 6 months. So, wow. So this is your new job now. This is your career now. It's 6 months, completely changed. And that's
Yeah.
it. You're no going back to anything else. This is you now.
No, not only that, I love it. Like, doing the jobs is fun, but also auditioning is super fun. Every aspect of this job, I'm obsessed. I love it. I like every day I'm excited to do it. And I was never excited to go to work before I was an engineer.
Same.
I love engineering. I love coding, but I didn't enjoy going to work. I love it. Like, I love going to work every single day today. So, yeah.
Now, one thing I want to point out for anybody that's watching, I'm sure there's some people that are thinking, "Oh, wow, you make it sound so easy." And for some people, it's not necessarily that it's easy. It's that if you follow the steps, you'll get the results. Now, some people have other kind of issues and stuff that they deal with, and it might take them a little bit longer. What would you say to those people if they're like, they jump into this and they're expecting to get results like you in the same time frame within 6 months, and let's say 6 months goes by and, let's say in extreme case they haven't even booked their first job? What would you say? Do you say quit? Do you say keep going? What do you say?
I would say that everyone's journey is different. And that's just going to be the actor's lifestyle, right? You never want to look at somebody else and compare. Because from my situation, no kids, came off an engineering job, was doing this every day. That is not everyone's reality, and that's okay. But you do have to work. And so I was doing this every single day, and I was obsessed with it. And so if this is not something that your whole heart is in, if you have too many obligations somewhere else and you just don't want to spend the time doing this, you just won't succeed. And it's also okay to realize that this may not be something you want to do full time. This can just be a hobby if you want it to be. And that's okay too. For me, I want this to be my career. I want to do it full time. I want to do it forever. And so I went at it with absolutely everything I had. And that was just my journey. But if yours is to do something a little less, or if yours is, I can only do this on the weekends, do what you can to get to where you want to go. Sometimes you do have to make sacrifices, and it takes a good look at your life and yourself to figure out what that is for you. And so I say, in 6 months, if you're not where I am, that's okay. In a year or whatever, because everyone's journey is different. But at the end of the day, you have to want it. And that's it.
So it is possible in 6 months.
Yeah, maybe not for everyone. It does seem like kind of a rare case, but there are people in our community who are even better than I am. you know? And again, it's just about what you have to work with. And for me, a lot of it was planning in the future. So I was planning months ahead.
Mhm.
So even though I was only doing this for 3 months, I knew that demo had to come now because it would take a long time to get. And
Mm.
that is how I was able to do it so quickly, is because when I first started doing this, your plan helped out. And I used that to plan for the future so I could get to it quicker.
Right. But there must be something you're not telling us. You must have some kind of like huge acting background. Were you in the theater? Were you a teacher, a public speaker, or no?
No,
Not
no,
nothing? Zero? Zero?
zero.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
But I did have a screenwriting degree, so I know how to break down a script. That is something that I did learn
Mm,
in school. But in terms of speaking out loud, I just wrote the
performance.
words. I was never actually performing them.
You know, it is possible for somebody that has zero experience in voiceover acting, anything like that, to make it happen. And you show that. So someone's brand new, they want to get the results like you, which, you know, it's possible, but that's not everybody's journey. And you were definitely an outlier. Like myself, you got started really, really quickly, but that doesn't always happen for everybody. But what do you think the first steps people should take is? Like, what would you say the first like 2 months? I always find the first 2 months are crucial because I find in that first 2 months, someone's going to find out whether they like it, whether they have the tenacity to continue through when it gets hard, the work ethic, and they can really see what it actually is. What do you think they should be spending their first 2 months doing? What do you think's important?
I think the most important is community. It's community and a plan. So again, for me, it's when I found you, I realized that you have a plan, you have a step-by-step guide, and that kept me on a path, right? It's so easy to veer off and to, lose focus. So for me, I would say find a place that you enjoy being, find a place that can help you grow, where you're happy, and that you can stay focused.
Amazing.
And yeah, well, and then, not to plug, but I found
Plug
that with
away.
our community. So I,
But wait, hold on. Are you you must be the only person working in the community, no?
no, 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 no. Absolutely not. We have so many people booking jobs all the time.
First
So that's,
jobs?
yeah, first many jobs after that. Some people have done some big stuff, NFL, and it's, it's really cool.
Not me. They're going to think you're talking about me, but it's actually one of the other
Oh, yeah, no,
community
somebody else in
members
the, yeah.
that beat me out for the job. I was shortlisted for it and they got it.
Sure did. And that's over at the voiceover school. And 100% learning from you and having that community at voiceover school, like 100% is how I got here.
Yeah.
And if money is an issue or anything like that, and you want to just find a good community and you don't have too much to spend, we do have a free community called the VO Lounge. And that is a great place to get started, to get your gear going, to meet other people who are just like you starting out so that you can get to hopefully wherever you want to get or where I am.
Well, thank you so much for sharing the story with us. I think a lot of people are going to find it really inspiring. I find it inspiring, and it's so cool to see that happen. And you said a lot of nice things about me, so I like you.
Of course,
I think you're
Jesse.
just fantastic, and this is just the beginning. I really do think you're a superstar, and I think you do go really far. And to everybody watching, if you're interested in learning voiceover or you're not getting the bookings you want, we can help. We have a free community, which costs absolutely nothing. You can join it. I'm in there. Ariana's in there. We give out free tips all the time. We do a coffee talk time, a free Q&A every Wednesday right now. And you can come in and ask us any kind of questions you want. And if it's within your means and you really want to throw rocket fuel on your career, check the links below. There's many ways to work with us. There's our voiceover school community. I have my course. You can work with me one-on-one. Other than that, whoever wants to see Ariana start her own YouTube channel,
Oh my
teaching you
gosh.
guys how to do voiceover the way she did it, drop it in the comments below. Let's see it. I think you should do it. I think you should start
Why are
your
you
own
doing
channel.
this to me?
All right, everybody. That is it. That's all. Check the links for more ways to work with us. Other than that, I'm Jesse. This is Ariana. We will see you in the next one. Peace.